Hello and good evening. I am Cactus Rose Amber, and welcome to Better Than Paradise. We will be using the Tales from the Loop role-playing game system as a basis to play this Blackout Club inspired story. But first, some special thanks and shoutouts. Thank you to Drumurboy for letting me use his old tongue lo-fi beats to chill and sleepwalk to. Thank you to Question Games and Nullspeak and so many others for creating the Blackout Club and allowing us to experience this world and the lore. Thank you to Free League Publishing for making the Tales from the Loop books and campaigns so easily accessible. Some content warnings. This game is heavily inspired by content of the Blackout Club, which has a group of teenagers exploring a small suburban town looking for evidence of strange events. As such, there may be scenes with blood and evidence of crimes like kidnapping and murder. Now, it's time to tell a story about some teenagers. Havenhill is a small town. It is a quiet town, a young town, around for maybe 80 years, and it is strange and wonderful. There, in the radio quiet zone, there are a surprising amount of things to explore, paths to wander, people to meet. Much of the land is either dense forest or farmland, and everyone knows almost everyone. Many of the family members or grandparents were encouraged to move to Havenhill, and as such, many of our players, if not all, were born and raised here. Their high school, Harmony High, has an illustrious choir and frequently visits locations in the district to perform. The lacrosse team is fairly popular, and it can be difficult to get seats to home games. And now, let's meet our players. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I didn't specify that. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, try again. Sorry.
No, you're good. Hi, my name's Justin. My online tag is JMAJelly. I will be playing Nicholas or Nick, the computer nerd.
I can go ahead next.
Okay.
Go.
My name's D or Lee or whichever, and I play Wyatt the Weirdo.
Nova.
Okay. Hi, I'm Novo. I use he, they, and I'm playing Maxi. Their pronouns are they, them, and they are the rocker.
I am Conterai. I play Mercer the Troublemaker.
Thank you guys so much for introducing yourselves. And now, let's get into it. Who would like to start us off?
I will start us off, it
Oh.
seems.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea.
do you have a scene in mind?
Yeah, I have a scene in mind.
All right.
Well, actually, let me just preemptively, is it just a scene for me, or do we want it so everybody can get involved in this scene?
We can do, typically with this system, we would do just one-on-one at first, but if you want to hop straight into it and have it for everybody, we can do that as well.
No, we'll do the one-on-one so everybody has a little time to think about what they want to do.
Okay.
So we'll find Nicholas in this instance. School had just been let out.
Mm-hmm.
Early afternoon. We'll find Nick currently actually at his extracurricular. He is currently in the chess club room.
What is he doing in the chess club room?
No, I was
like, I have to ask.
No, I understandable. So while we have a sparse, I'd say smattering, about 5 or 6 people in the room, Nicholas would actually be more towards the side of it on his laptop, specifically playing against, a shitty computer instead of an actual person.
Okay. And how does he do well against the computer? Does he struggle with it? How good is he at
He's very good, and probably has faced this specific composition with the little robot a million times, but he'd rather do this and have not fun at all than actually go up and ask a person to play.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, so he's playing chess on the computer, and there's other people in the room. Does he know any of them very well?
He knows who they are. He wouldn't consider them close friends.
Mm-hmm.
He knows their names. He maybe knows what classes he shares with them. But ultimately, it's only surface level knowledge.
Okay. Do they try to talk to him at all, or no?
Yeah, no, he's not unfriendly. He's just
Mhm.
quiet. So ultimately, they might like try to talk to him, and he'll pull off his headphones and just be like, "Yeah, that." uh, I yeah, you can look at my homework.
Gotcha. Okay. Then let's go ahead and add a character to this situation. We're gonna say the head of the chess club is Stefan. Stefan is a senior. He probably should be focusing more on like gearing up for college or any sort of other focus towards the future, but he's really thrown himself into micromanaging the chess club. And he sees Nick kind of, I assume, hunched over at the computer.
Oh,
The
yes, his
giant,
posture is shit.
yeah, with the giant headphones, and like bumps Nick's shoulder and says, "Hey, let's play a game."
He again adjusts the headphones. Yeah, what? Just yeah, and then he'll sit up and slowly fold the laptop closed and shove it in his bag.
Okay. Stefan gestures to an already set up chess set, possibly one that he had set up before and just hadn't had time, a chance to get anybody else involved. And
Yeah,
he's,
set up.
yep, ready to go. And he asks, "What color would you like?"
Why don't we flip a coin for it?
All right. Heads or tails?
Tails.
Okay. Tails is a 2. All right, heads. So, Stefan gets white and decides to go first.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna have you play out this chess game.
Damn.
However, what I am gonna have you do is do. This is not technically how this stat is meant to be used, but I feel like we can apply it in this situation. Can I have you roll a calculate tech to see if like you know the various options and ways that this game can go and adequately respond?
Mhm. Oh my god, that was close. Closer than I'd like.
And you succeed. You actually know Stefan's play style. You know how he handles the game. You know what he does. You've watched him enough. And you've played enough chess with the bot to know how everything is going to work out. And upon beating Stefan, he kind of sits back in his chair and nods. It's like, "You did good. Where'd you learn that?"
Well, I sometimes I just mess around on the computer with it. I have a little program. Just try out moves,
Ah,
see what works.
okay. Something I'll have to try myself.
I can set it up on your computer if you like.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Um, and with this faint, uh, possible friendship brewing, we're gonna end your scene here.
Mhm.
Who would like to go next? Don't all jump at once. Otherwise, I will volunteer people. And I have no problem volunteering people, but I also don't want to put you guys on the spot more. Alright. Oh. Okay, we have typing happening. Yeah, no, we're not gonna roll initiative. Cool. D.
Beat me somehow.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Do you have any ideas for a scene in mind on how to introduce Wyatt?
Do we do the same time, like after school with Nyx?
We can do it at the same time. We can do a different time. There's a variability in it.
Okay.
Whatever works best for you.
Mm-hmm. If you want it during that same school day, but not after school, that's fine as well.
What would you say is like a token thing Wyatt would do?
If we were following the same sort of timeline, Wyatt would probably not stick around school
Okay.
right after. He would probably just immediately start walking home. He does live a little bit further from the school.
Okay.
So he would have a pretty long walk back, but he would probably just go home and immediately start playing on his PlayStation because that's pretty much all he does after school. Homework is not something that he would probably pick up, so he would usually just be sitting alone in his room doing his own kind of thing.
Okay. And he doesn't play, like, he doesn't walk home with his brother or play games with his brother or anything?
His brother will sometimes meet him when he gets home, and they do play games together.
Okay. Well then... And... Wyatt's dad's usually at work still, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Wyatt comes home and enters in like the common space, heading towards his PlayStation. And he sees a note, like a post-it note stuck to the wall. And it says, "Please do the dishes before I get home." And it's very distinctly in your father's handwriting.
Okay, well, he is going to ignore that note and keep going anyway.
Gotcha. Okay. What game does he end up playing?
Oh man. Probably Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. Okay. Just doing like basic story
Playing
mode, I guess.
against,
Or like,
yeah, playing against bots, just
mm-hmm.
training to beat his older brother, because his older brother is a lot better than him at the game.
Okay. So then, would you like to roll to see if you're successful in this go round of Mortal Kombat?
Yes.
Okay.
What would that be?
Let's do... We're gonna try Empathize Mind.
What was that one more time?
Empathize Mind.
Okay. So that would be 6, right?
Yeah, so you would do... Yeah, that would be
Alright.
6. 66.
Gotcha.
I apologize if you can hear some humming. I don't know what the heck it is, but I can hear it over my headset.
Oh, well, apparently I suck.
You apparently struggle very with this attempt. You get maybe 3 or 4 bots in, and just you can't get your fingers to move the way you want them to. You could have sworn you remembered how to do this, but you just don't. And you feel a little discouraged. But nothing truly bad comes out of it because you can try again. Did you want to try again?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm determined to get this.
You need this combo.
Yeah.
I do. All right. Let's see. Am I still going to be trash?
Oh.
Apparently I am.
All right. So, once again, you try and it just isn't working. Maybe there's something wrong with your controller. Maybe it's not you. Maybe it's the controller. Maybe it's the character you chose that day. You're not quite sure, but you definitely feel like it was iffy. You hear the front door open and close, and then you hear like the clamor of like somebody dropping a bag, somebody kicking off their shoes, and if you listen very closely, you can hear somebody take the post-it note off the wall, and you hear your brother Avery yell down the hallway, "You couldn't have done the dishes?"
No, I couldn't have. Dad can do them when he gets home. He would just yell.
You hear Avery like go stomping into the kitchen. You hear like the throw open of the refrigerator, and you hear like the playful grumbling of like, "Do I have to do everything myself? This is so like really, come on, like one thing," and like slams the fridge closed. You hear Avery pop open a can of soda, and then you start hearing the sink go.
He would probably just sigh and throw it on his controller and walk in to help. If you're gonna be such a baby about it.
Avery shoots a look at Wyatt. Very much the "how dare you," but is awkwardly holding the lip of the soda can between his front teeth. So all he has to do is kind of tilt his head back ever so slightly so he can get more soda and drink it while his hands are deep in scrubbing out the dishes. He looks quite hilarious this way. But he refuses to put down his soda.
Wyatt would probably just ignore it, and he would just wait to dry any of the dishes that he finished cleaning, but he would probably want to get a soda for himself as well.
Okay. You get a soda, you pop it open, and then you join your brother washing and drying the dishes. And we will end your scene here. Maxi.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. Do you have a role in mind? I mean, not a role, a scene in mind?
Yeah. Maybe I do. I have 2, but I'm because I'm terrified. Let's see. Can I have like it be after school like the others? And,
Of course.
Maxi probably would go down to the music store.
All
See if
right.
their friends there.
Right. Heads to the music store. Music store, and it's let's say it's closer to downtown, more centralized. It's more traffic that way. Or at least that's the argument for when it was rented out. Music store's kind of run down, but in like the loving way. There's faded posters on the wall, some of them slightly ripped or scuffed, obviously bought secondhand from people who didn't realize what they had. And so many shelves and bins just filled with either records or CDs or cassette tapes, waiting for a discerning eye to go through them. There's also, further back, you see some of the instruments that they have available. Usually marketed towards the kids who are trying to do like band or orchestra, but they only get like that wave of customers at the beginning of the school year. As for if your friend is there, do you see them?
Let's say I do.
What are they doing?
Probably, I don't know, stocking the shelves maybe.
Okay.
I don't know what you do at a music store.
All right. So they're stocking the music, like the shelves. They're reorganizing some of the things that have been placed, like when people put it out of order, so they have to re-alphabetize it. Also having like a mini cart filled with the new stock of items to be placed on display. And your friend looks up and like makes eye contact with you and gives like a slight wave and is like, didn't expect you here today.
Yeah, well, start expecting it. And Maxi will walk over and probably, I don't know, look at the shelf there, stocking up,
Okay.
see what's on it.
It looks to be what one would lovingly call dad rock. And it's possibly, you think the album in particular that your friend is stalking is like a newer album from an older band trying to like connect with the latest generation of rockers. And you're not, the CD cover just is a bunch of random bright colors and you can barely even read the text on it. Your friend also very obviously looks like they don't care about it. But they have to put it on display. Uh-oh.
Am I back?
You're
There we
back.
go.
You're back.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
I
It
did not
happens.
hear anything.
No! Okay. So I was saying that they are stalking like dad rock. And it's what would be lovingly referred to as dad rock. It's being it's one of those albums that was released by an older band trying to reconnect with the newer generation, and it's like the bright colors and you can barely read the font. You don't even know what like the CD album title is because you can't read it. It's just so obnoxious and stretched out. And your friend very obviously doesn't care for said album.
I see.
they kind of stretch out their arms. And you can tell they are very tired. And they're like, would you get my water from behind the register? I think I've been over here too long, but I'm afraid if I walk away, I won't come back and finish.
Maxi nods and gets up and gets up. They're already, you know what? They walk over. They get the water. They get the water, and they hand it to the friend.
The friend takes it, nods and thanks, and then proceeds to just chug it. Very obviously parched. And
Tough day at work.
kind of. When they finish drinking, you can hear the clamor of ice still in the bottle, in the little like tumbler, and they're like, thanks, and manage to slide the bottle into one of their pockets along their thigh. Like, I don't know why I didn't do this before.
Would have been smart to keep it on hand.
I didn't expect this to take so long.
Restocking the shelves.
I had to like price them, and then I had to make sure that they were all accounted for in the computer. And now I'm putting them on the shelves because, you know, who can, like, why would anybody do that themselves? It has to be me. But they're very obviously they're being sarcastic, but there's a hint of honesty there, of the nobody else is gonna bother working when they're here. Somebody has to. Yes, retail, exactly.
Well, even though I don't work here, maybe I could help put things back on the shelf if it's as simple as that.
You know your ABCs?
Wait, what?
Do you know your ABCs?
I sure do.
Sweet. And without even like second guessing, just kind of like moves the cart over to you and said, could you put these in the correct locations? I need to make sure that we didn't get another shipment when I was stuck out here up front, if you would be so awesome.
Sure thing.
Sweet. And your friend walks away. So you proceed to help out with the with the shelving.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah. All right. Let's do a check. Let's do an investigate mind check, please.
Okay.
You struggle to remember.
Those
what...
were D4s.
Oh yeah, those are D4s.
Rip.
Oh, if 4 was the number, you would have been fine.
Okay, wait. So 4d6, right?
Correct.
Yeah. All the
Okay.
dice are D6s. It's just the
Yeah.
quantity.
Okay. Yeah, you still struggle to comprehend letters. For a brief moment, you're like, wait, did I read that right? Am I sure I'm reading this right? And you go ahead and you place a couple anyway. Do you try again?
Yes.
Okay, try again. Reroll. Aha!
Yeah.
Okay. You successfully managed to put the rest in the correct place. It requires like some like maneuvering of the shelving, moving, well, not maneuvering of the shelving, like moving items from one side of a shelf to another because of spacing and all of that neat fun stuff. And you have, in the time that you're doing that, your friend comes back from the back and is carrying like another box, and they're just like, "Are you serious? This is so absurd."
Did you get another ship then?
Apparently this was supposed to be in the previous one. I don't know. And like doesn't hesitate to just kind of throw the box onto the counter and start searching for a pack, like a
Packing slip.
thank you, that's the word I'm looking for, to go through and start inventorying what's inside. What would you like to do?
Can I look in the box? Go over and look in the box?
Yeah, of course. You join your friend at the counter, and they have the packing slip, and they're just staring at it and shaking their head. And just like, I don't know where I'm gonna put this. Like, this is so absurd. Do you look inside the box?
Absolutely.
It's more CDs. It's more like records. Surprise! Like somehow this box has managed to contain some records. It has a couple CDs, and you think that's a cassette tape? What? Which like makes sense for the story you're in, but you're also like, who orders those now? Like, what's going on? And none of the names, nothing looks familiar to you. But a lot of red. Just like somebody took red and splashed it all over the contents of this box.
Hell yeah. Can I point at the cassette tape? Just be like, is that for sale?
Your friend like looks at you and it's like, technically yes, but it's not even in the system yet.
What if it could be?
You want it?
What if I bought it? Maybe. Maybe I do.
Are you trying to convince your friend to sell you?
Maybe I am. Yeah.
Alright.
Backdoor music deals.
Backdoor music deals, okay. I feel like this is a charm heart roll.
Okay. We do math real quick.
Yeah, do math.
I believe in you.
Oh yeah, you totally succeed. Your friend sighs and it's just like, yeah, it'll be... And he pulls out a 10-key calculator, hits a couple numbers, hits a couple buttons, and gives you a number. And it's like, it'll be about this.
Alright. Okay. Do I have money on me?
Do your parents give you anything? Do you have a job? Like, or your grandparents, I mean?
They'd probably give Maxi like $10. I don't know. Yeah, not an allowance, but some money every now and then. They probably save it up.
Alright.
Okay. If I have enough, I will take it.
Sweet. Alright. Let's see here. Let me look at something really quick. Okay, you have enough money to afford the cassette tape. Your friend takes the cash, writes a note on like a piece of receipt paper and paper clips that and hides that underneath the register. And then grabs the cassette tape and is like, "Do you want a bag?"
Nah.
Your friend laughs and hands you the cassette tape. And we will end your scene here.
Hell yeah.
All right, Mercer.
Hello.
Do you have a scene in mind for your introduction?
Unfortunately, I don't think I do.
That's totally fine. All right. So, it's after school. Does Mercer get in trouble a lot at school? I mean, he's a troublemaker, but that doesn't necessarily have to be school related.
I mean, he's got an attitude and a penchant for mischief.
Okay. Well then, we will say one of the teachers had an issue with Mercer's attitude today and gave him detention. It's not much, like 30 minutes, just enough to be frustrating. Because 30 minutes is a long time when you don't have a lot of time. Chat can't see it, but Khan is typing, and I want you all to know that.
I was trying to think of some kind of sassy remark about detention, but I got nothing.
That's fine. So, you're in detention. Yes, it's only 30 minutes of detention, and he could be collecting pogs, you are right. But it's detention. And not only is it detention, it's the detention of where you have to sit there and do nothing. You're not even allowed to, like, look at your homework or read a book. It's the sit there and think about what you did detention. Okay. So there was an evil smiley face in the chat. I don't know if that came across in the chat aspect, but thought I'd say so.
They put me in detention like they think it's going to stop me. So lacking in vision. 30 minutes is merely a setback.
What is Mercer planning on doing then? Like, what's his retaliation? What do you have planned? Oh. So, what's his retaliation then? Like, how would he proceed forward?
How about I scope out the area and see if I can find any weaknesses in my prison, out of spite if nothing else.
Alright. So if you're gonna look for weaknesses in your prison, as you have so lovingly called it, let's see here. I think that would be an investigate mind roll, please. I don't think you see anything like that you can immediately use in this room. The chairs are all attached to the desks. There's an SRO officer standing at the door, eagle-eyed, watching. The other students who are also in detention with you have their eyes just focused, like laser focused on the desks in front of them. I'm trying not to have any form of not give the SRO officer any reason to interact with them.
They've thought this through. I'd be impressed, but I'm probably quite familiar with this room by now.
You would like to try again? See if there's something you missed in your first pass through?
One more try can't hurt.
Alright, let's see. You successfully notice the window is open. And being on the ground floor, it wouldn't be that hard to get out. It would just be a matter of timing.
They wanted fresh air for us kids, but soon they will regret their generosity.
Are you going to try an escape? Try and time an escape?
Or maybe they just forgot. Same difference. I'm definitely thinking about that window, but if I were to try and make a run for it, I'd probably get caught.
It's definitely highly probable you would get caught.
Perhaps a distraction would improve my odds.
What sort of distraction are you thinking?
My options do seem limited while I'm restricted to this room, especially with these pathetic chairs hopelessly attached to their accompanying tables.
Yeah, it does limit possibilities. Which, upon thinking about it, you realize that's probably the plan.
Everything.
Indeed they have. Indeed they have.
So then, what would you like to try and do? Do you recognize any of the people in the in detention with you that you might be able to convince to do something?
The other kids do seem like my best bet.
Okay.
I'm sure I recognize a few, maybe even convinced one or two of them to get into some shenanigans in the past.
How do you try to get their attention?
What about whispering quietly so as not to tip off the guards?
Okay. So you whisper, let's see here. So there's about, let's say, 3 people in the room with you. One maybe 2 seats away, another one really close to the door, and another one furthest from the door. Who would you like to try and whisper to?
Too close to the door and the guard might notice? I'm not sure to be real.
Okay.
I doubt any of them want to be here more than I do, but I'm sure I can strike some kind of bargain.
Alright. Let's see here. Can you roll a contact heart for me? Alright. You realize the person that's only like 2 seats away has been sitting there and very carefully, very stealthily texting on their phone, messaging, maybe playing a game. You just see that they're doing what they need to do and somehow are not getting caught.
How clever. Their stealth is commendable. I might be tempted to think having access to a phone could be used to rig an escape from the outside, but that's probably not as feasible as it sounds.
Do you try and get their attention?
We're in here for 30 minutes after all, not 30 years. Maybe I should have a chat with this sneaky one.
Okay, how do you get their attention?
Getting the attention of someone looking at a phone screen is never easy, is it? I forget. Am I close enough to pat them on the shoulder or lean over and mutter something?
You can lean over and mutter at them.
That sounds like a plan. I'd first like to commend their stealth but without giving anything away in case one of the others has a better ear than I thought. I should probably put that in the form of actual words, right? That makes sense.
Yeah, that would probably be easier for me to work with.
pretty sly, aren't you? I like that.
Alright. Just for ease of proceeding, can you roll a lead heart for me? With your attempts to encourage the person to assist you in escaping out of detention, they like look at you, they look at the SRO, and then they look at the clock, and they're like, "You have 5 more minutes. You can wait," and then go back to fiddling with their phone stealthily. And we will end your scene there. So now we've met our 4 characters tonight. And with them, we are about to meet the mystery.
Man, imagine taking so long to get out of detention that I'm already out of detention.
That happens. You guys have a peaceful night. You guys have a wonderful, like, nothing wrong happened. If you do homework, you did your homework. You don't know for sure if you got it right, but you at least tried. Dinner was delicious. And you actually slept pretty well. Maybe not for like the entire amount of time you needed, but for while you were asleep, you were out. You were, as one may say, what was it? Sleeping like you're dead? I'm blanking on the phrase.
Sleeping with the fishes?
No, that's not that one. But like dead asleep, something like that.
Dead asleep, sleeping like a log.
Yeah. And you wake up, you do your thing, and once again, it's school time. You arrive at school at whatever time it is that you do, whether it's late or on time or early. Some of you ate breakfast, some of you may have not. Some of you may have walked with family. Some of you may have left your family behind or been left behind by said family as they went on to what they needed to do. Whether that's work or their other school or anything of that nature. Typical, standard morning. And as you're there, your classes go by fine. Nothing really to comment on. And then lunchtime rolls around. And it's at lunchtime that all 4 of you are there. In your different spots with your cliques, maybe. You all happen to start to hear the same rumor. The same gossip, and it sounds too much, like, it sounds absurd. You heard that over in Redacre, someone's gone missing. You hear a couple people have gone missing. And the current theory is it may have been intentional. But why would so many people go missing? Why would... It's Redacre. Some of you have been to Redacre. Like, it's just a little bit down the road. Depending on, like, your house, you may have even walked Redacre for one of the sports team games. But who could go missing here, of all places? Some of the sports players are upset because the theory is a bunch of the team has gone missing, but there's no one can actually say any names. Nobody knows who went missing, only that people went missing. Do any of you do anything?
Well, I'm assuming I at least probably, unless someone actively is going around spreading the rumor in the cafeteria, I probably just happened upon it through one of the group texts I lurk in.
Mm-hmm.
To which I would give a rare response and just be like, well, these are like small, close-knit towns. The fact we're not getting any names, that's suspicious. I'm not sure I believe all this nonsense.
You say that to the person who told you, or
Yes.
were you... They kind of look a little bit confused, and they're like, I swear it was, like, in the paper. Like, just, it was in the paper. My mom was going on about it.
You're sure about that?
They look a bit confused, and they're like, I could have... I mean... I would think so. Like, why would the paper lie?
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna dip for now. But you tell me if you hear anything else, I guess.
Okay. And they go back to, like, talking about it and, like, where people could go to if they're missing. Do you do...
Uh,
Go ahead.
Obviously we're in the radio quiet zone, so there's not exactly internet, but is there any... I wouldn't be able to, like, look up local papers online, so is there any way to get anything that's not a school paper on school grounds, or...
Maybe in the school office? Maybe one of the administrative professionals or even the principal might have a copy.
Would I have seen any of, like, my teachers earlier have, like, the morning paper?
You think your bio teacher would have had it, like, spread out on the counter, possibly had been reading it before school and didn't pick it back up.
That I'm just gonna pick up my box lunch. I'm actually just gonna start heading to the biology lab.
Okay. Maxi, Wyatt, Mercer, what do you guys do upon hearing of the rumor?
Am I able to stop Nick on his way out?
Yeah, you can totally stop Nick on his way out.
Alright, so Wyatt probably was just kind of sitting sort of by himself, and he probably overheard some conversations about what was happening. And so he would probably hear the conversation between Nick and his friend, and he would stop him before he could leave the cafeteria and just kind of say, like, what was that about some kids going missing from Redacre?
Oh, apparently some paper article from this morning. I don't think it was just kids. Look, I don't believe this nonsense because apparently there were no names.
That's kind of weird. Not even one?
That's what I'm saying. So, I think I remember, Mr. Gallagher having the paper this morning.
Yeah, I may have to ask him about it. I don't
That's
think
where
I'm
I'm
going to
headed
be
right
able
now.
to. Mind if I go with?
Yeah, whatever.
Alright. So now Nick and Wyatt are on their way to Mr. Gallagher's. Maxi, what do you do hearing this information?
Can I say that I overhear the conversation between Nick and Wyatt and just follow them without saying anything? just get up and follow them.
Subtle.
You know what? Sure, I will let you do that. Do you even try to sneak, or are you just like, yeah, screw it, I'm
No,
following?
I'm just straight up while following them.
Alright. And Mercer?
We're all just eavesdropping in the cafeteria.
That's lunchtime.
Cafeterias for high schools are like pubs for other tabletop games. You go to the pub to overhear some rumors to know where to go. In high school, you find out things during lunchtime.
I didn't go with the lunchtime.
That's just the law, you know?
That's just how it works. That's just how it do.
Exactly.
No. I made deals with teachers that liked me, and they'd let me just hide in their classroom during lunch.
Lucky you.
Imagine having teachers that like you.
Yeah, imagine not having to sit outside. Or like in the cafeteria where it's like blindingly noisy. Why blindingly? Deafeningly noisy.
Yeah, the bot didn't.
The bot decided not to go off. That's fun. Okay.
Just repost and see what happens.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna read it. I mean, following them sounds fun and all, but if they turn around and see two kids just walking along behind them, they're probably gonna freak. I mean, they don't know that you're not, like, just happening to go that way.
I don't know, sounds like trouble to make.
It does sound like trouble to make. On top of that, it's a school. Like, there's normally a limited amount of pathways you can take anyway.
Just spin around like, why are you following me?
You're right in front of the bathroom?
Like, my locker's right there.
I have to go to class?
Yeah.
Who goes to class? Gross.
You don't just sit in the cafeteria eavesdropping all day?
Wait, you can do that? TTS bot.
Okay,
What?
hold on. I'm gonna mess with the bot. Okay, try again. I will just bully the bot.
Fair enough, I follow along but I don't make it obvious I'm following, if that makes any sense.
Totally makes sense. Alright. So, not necessarily all together, but definitely together. You make your way to the biology classroom with Mr. Gallagher. Mr. Gallagher is middle-aged man with like a beer belly, a very bushy mustache, slightly balding, half-moon glasses. His classroom is probably the most welcoming of the science teachers. It's clean enough that, you know, you can do labs on, like, on the tables, do what you need to do, but it doesn't look like a hospital. There's things on the walls. There's a human skeleton and muscle model in the back corner that he is so lovingly nicknamed Dave.
Spooky.
Yeah.
And put a tie on Dave, of course.
Dave has to have the tie, yeah. It's a
Yeah.
very wonderfully patterned tie. And he changes the tie at least once a week.
Oh, hell yeah.
And Mr. Gallagher is there, and he's sitting in his chair, at his, going through his grade book. It looks like he had just finished grading some papers and is updating his grade book at the moment. He sees you all walk in, or at least he sees Nick and Wyatt walk in at the beginning, and he is like, hey, didn't I just have you guys? Like, or at least...
Yeah, third period, but, well, I'm hearing these weird things going around, and it had something to do with the morning paper. I thought I saw you had it, so I was gonna ask if I could take a quick peek, if, you know.
Yeah, the morning paper, he, like, sits up, like, a little bit further up in his chair, more at attention, and it's like, I think, yeah, and opens up a drawer and pulls out the paper. It's kind of messily folded, but he's like, yeah, no, have at it. I just give it back when you're done.
Yeah, of course, I only need it for a minute or two. So I'll walk up and I'll gingerly grab it, kind of smooth it out in my hands, noting any coffee stains.
Okay.
And I will attempt to just kind of skim through it. I imagine the missing persons article, this isn't exactly a large town, so it's probably on the first couple pages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wyatt is just kind of looking over his shoulder as he's reading this.
Alright. So... I'm gonna make you both roll an investigate mind check. I would say at this point, Maxi, you have entered the biology classroom. And Mr. Gallagher, like, leans back in his chair to look around Nick and Wyatt. And he's like, wow, I'm popular today.
Yes!
Oh god, alright.
We've done it, we got a 6.
Let's hope I'm better at investigating than I am at Mortal Kombat. it was investigate, right?
Mhm.
Investigate mind, yeah.
Yep.
Investigate. Alright, I think I got 6 here. Let's see.
I believe.
Yeah!
Nicely done. Do you want to say anything, Maxi?
Nah, I'll just smugly look at the teacher.
Mr. Gallagher actually isn't surprised. He just kind of was like, okay. And goes back.
Just accepts.
You know, moody teenagers, man. Like, what are you gonna do? And goes back to fiddling with the graded papers. In this time, Nick and Wyatt have managed to find the missing persons article. And you recognize some of the names. They're well-known people. Even if it's like you don't follow sports, you know that they were a popular sports member, part of Central High, or you heard one of the jocks in your classroom complain about them at some point, because there's no way they should be able to, like, get away with that pass before. How dare they? That should have been a foul. Like, you hear all of, like, the random commentary about these missing Central High kids. You also see an offhanded mention wondering if it's connected to the Maddie Shaw girl having gone missing and assumedly passed away. But there's no actual... There doesn't seem to be any connection that you can see based on the article as it's written. It seems like the journalist is possibly just spitballing to give some kind of explanation.
Would we recognize the name Maddie Shaw and just be like, ah, yes, they do. The girl goes missing, never find the body?
Yeah, you probably would have recognized, because there would have been, at some point, the local police department would have participated in helping search, participated in looking at helping search the forest between Redacre and Havenhill, and get offered resources in their attempts to search. Also probably was a huge deal, considering she was there one minute and the next she was gone and nobody knows what happened to her. Probably was all you heard about on the news for weeks, if not months.
Yeah, it's not too much big news.
Mm-mm. At this point, I would say Mercer has entered the classroom. And once again, Mr. Gallagher looks up. And he's like, I gotta put this on the calendar. And jokingly yells back to Dave, what, did you invite people and not tell me?
Nick would be a little too engrossed to kind of take note of the collective of people forming at the door.
This door was foolishly unguarded.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, so Nick doesn't notice the group of people. Do you happen to notice Wyatt?
Wyatt would probably be looking at the newspaper with no sense for for boundaries, just peeking right over Nick's shoulder, but he probably did not notice Maxi walking in, but did notice Mercer, and he would, mostly because of Mr. Gallagher saying something, and he would turn to look, but otherwise he would go back to reading.
Okay.
Is there a... Would I know of the person who wrote this article?
You might recognize the name, but you don't really know. You wouldn't know them. I don't think you would know them personally. It's more like they're fine. They're always in the paper. They're always writing some article somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a friend's parents' cousin's aunt or something like that wrote the article. 4 times moved. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of finish skimming that, and am I correct in, assuming that, a lot of the details are vague?
Yes, it's vague enough that whoever reads it could probably draw their own assumptions on it. But, just enough to make you think there's details on, when and where they went missing, but nothing further than that. Nothing about, what they were doing or who they were with.
And we got that, but there were names.
But there were some names, yes.
Nick seems a little uncomfortable with this, and he's almost actually about to close the paper when he just remembers that Wyatt's been looking over his shoulder this whole time. And just kind of like turns to Wyatt and just like, were you done reading?
Yeah, I think so. You mind if I take it though?
Yeah, but he wants it back.
Yeah, I just want to look a little bit more. I think I recognize one of the names on there.
Yeah, I'll hand him the paper.
He would
And
take it and probably go sit down at one of the tables.
Okay.
at this point, I also then notice Maxi and Mercer just like standing around the door. I'm like, just kind of glance around, like, is something happening here? Well, Tom finishes typing that. Nick will probably pull out his phone.
I wave in a slightly sassy manner.
Just slightly sassy.
Just ever so slightly.
Yeah. I give like a awkward half wave back, just like I raise my hand halfway and give like a like the corners of my mouth form a smile, so it's clearly a bit awkward.
Right.
Before turning back around and just like I don't know what's happening right now. And then I'll pull out my phone. And I will text my mom. I'll just be like, "Hey mom, sorry if you're busy at work. Did you hear anything about these missing people in Redacre?"
She doesn't respond right away.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Put away my phone.
Yeah, I see Mercer still typing. Maxi, are you doing anything specific upon having entered the room?
No, probably just leaning in the doorway, arms crossed, just vibing.
Yeah, if nothing really happens, I'm going to head over to the table where Wyatt is reading the paper. And I'll kind of like lean in and I'll just be like, "Look, this is really kind of bothering me. This is pretty uncomfortable. Because this isn't just one person. And it's literally just 15 minutes away."
Man,
I wanna-
we're just kind of there, aren't we?
Yeah, you is.
You is.
Look, I don't think I'm gonna be, able to relax with this kind of stuff going on so close. And I don't want to check it out by myself, and you clearly seem as interested or bothered by this as me. So
what
you
are you
want to like?
suggesting?
I'm suggesting maybe we like bike to Redacre after school.
I mean, yeah. A friend of my brother's is on here, so I think I want to try and check it out. What time were you thinking?
Well, I don't want to stay there when it gets dark with all this going on, so I'm probably just gonna skip clubs and just go as soon as school's over.
Fine by me.
And then I said, cool. I don't think I have your number.
Probably not. Wyatt would just pull out his phone and get the contact up.
Yeah.
And he'd say, "What's your number?"
Insert numbers here.
Insert fake phone number.
I
Got
won't
it.
start listing numbers because that's probably someone's real number.
All right, so Wyatt would probably just get that, and he would text him probably just a stupid picture or something, just to make sure that he got the
Homemade
text.
meme.
Yes.
Alright.
I'll be like, yeah, cool. Let's we'll meet by the flagpole out front.
All right, right after school, right?
Yeah, I'll meet you right after.
All right, I'll be there.
And I turn out to head out, not wanting to finish my lunch in the bio room. Is my path blocked by either Maxi or Mercer?
Yes. It is. I just want to say, before you leave the room, Maxi would walk in front of you, make direct eye contact with you, and just say, "I'm going with you," and then turn away.
As soon as you hit straight eye contact, I'm just gonna look at the floor. And then you just, you exclaim that and walk away.
Yeah.
Oh, is Maxi just gone already?
Well, they probably wouldn't leave the room, but they'd go back to the doorway.
Wyatt would probably hear this and just lean over, just give them a thumbs up and say, "The more the merrier."
They smile in response.
Is there anything else that you're looking for in the newspaper, Wyatt?
No, he probably focused on that one name. He would probably, if Maxi was still there, he would probably grab the paper and hold it out to them in case they wanted to take a look.
Ooh, yeah, they'll take a read.
Okay. Mercer, I see you still typing. Go ahead and keep typing. Anything specific you want to look for, Maxi?
No, I'd probably just read through what they've already read through, just to read it.
Okay. Not a problem.
How tall is Wyatt?
Wyatt is 5'7".
Okay.
Yeah.
Tall boy.
He tall.
He tall.
Nick is small. 5'2".
We have a tall and a small.
It must have been very easy to
Look
over his shoulder.
You didn't even have to lean in or anything.
Yeah. It was like a shadow over.
I'm actually loving that mental image. Conversation is hard. No worries.
I also don't feel like you have to make like
First
super perfect
TTS bot,
sentences.
would you like to say anything?
Okay, the bot's
There you-
working.
Hey, man.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad.
Alright.
Stare down at the center. Not dead.
Want both live.
Ah! There it is. Okay. Got the bot again. This is ongoing technical difficulties, but I appreciate your all patience.
Mercer at this point decides to approach and look at the newspaper, saying, well, the best source is always the source, right?
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, you don't have to make the most eloquent sentences. You can just type,
Yeah. The more natural, the better.
I need all my dialogue to be exclusively one line.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Okay, what we're gonna do with the group having implied that they're all gonna go and make their way to Redacre, we are gonna take our break. So at this point in time, if you would ever so kindly stand up, stretch, get some water, maybe go to the bathroom, maybe get a snack, what have you, and we will be right back. Welcome back. We are returning to our session of Better Than Paradise. The rest of the school day passes by. Totally normal. Totally fine. You hear the hints of the rumor that people have gone missing in Redacre, occasionally in the halls between classes. You think maybe you heard one of the teachers talking to somebody on the phone about it. Just everyone's a little shaken by it. The idea that people so close by could go missing and yet no one knows where they are. And the school day ends. The artificial bell rings through the speakers, and you are free for the day. What do you do?
I'm going to head for the I'm going to grab my bike, head for the flagpole, and on my way there, text my mom again, see if she's replied at all, but secondarily text her. I'm going out with a friend. I may be back late. I think we have leftovers.
Okay. Your mom didn't reply, but you do have, like, where she did see your text message.
Yeah.
So you do know that she at least saw it, but it doesn't look like she had an opportunity to respond yet.
No, I know she's busy.
Alright. How about Maxi?
Her mom left you on read? Sad.
Pretty much.
Damn.
What's happening?
It's after school.
Oh, okay. Maxi would try their best to remember where they said they were going to meet up and go there. Probably wander around the school for a bit.
Okay.
Or outside of the school.
Alright.
It must have been hard hearing from from the doorway.
It's a very large room.
Wyatt would probably try and find his older brother before he left to head home, to make sure that he knew that he was going to be out somewhere tonight.
Do you know what Avery typically does?
Yeah, Avery would probably be waiting to walk Wyatt home, and they usually meet up at the front before they start to walk home, so he would probably go to wait for him there.
Okay. Then I'm gonna say Avery's probably standing at, like, the school gate, hands in their in his pockets. Was kind of rocking back and forth on the ball of his feet, looking, like, just watching, looking for you.
Alright, Wyatt would probably just just walk straight up and just be like, "Hey, I'm going out tonight with some friends. Don't tell Dad where I'm going. I'll be back later."
You have friends?
Alright, listen, I don't need this right now. Alright, I'll be back later, okay?
Alright, text me.
I'll try to remember to.
Okay, I'll try and remember to leave you food.
Please do.
No promises.
And I wouldn't expect anything less.
And your brother kind of, like, messes with your hair. And, like, in that whole, like, grabs you, messes with your hair in a not hug fashion. And then heads towards home. What about you, Mercer?
I kinda drifted for a moment there. We're getting ready to go to Redacre, right? Or a meetup spot or something.
You're meeting up in front of the school to bike to Redacre. To check out more and see if you can't get more information on the missing people.
That's a practical meetup spot.
Yeah, it's right underneath the flag, I think, is what
Yeah,
was
this is
said?
right by the flagpole.
Yeah.
You meet 3 o'clock at the flagpole. Let's go.
1v1.
Final destination, Falco only.
No items.
Exact.
Yeah. Well, come on, bot.
What?
Come on, bot. You literally just worked.
You can do it.
I believe in you, bot.
The bot is trying their best.
The bot is gonna get replaced.
Exactly, the bot shy.
I probably
shop.
wouldn't go home for anything
But there
unless
is.
I had to. Like if my bike was there or something.
Okay.
Bot shot me and about to die.
Alright. So, see, you threaten it and then it cooperates. I'm not saying that's the way that we should treat our future robot overlords, but I'm just saying. Alright, so I'm gonna assume you took your bike to school this morning. For ease. And so
Probably would, yeah.
yeah. So Nick is there already. I assume Wyatt is now showing up. Maxi probably after going a roundabout way, uncertain on where they hurt, like makes it there.
Yeah, they probably see them gathering up and walk over.
Alright, and
I
then
mean, prior to Maxi showing up, Nick probably like had a half thought form in his mind just because he was kind of intimidated by them. Just being like, should we just leave now? But ultimately, no.
and then after Maxi, Mercer arrives. You all have your bikes. If you have a bike. I'm assuming yes. If not, say now so you can do ride tandem and possibly get in trouble, but it's fine. Alright. So, who here has been to Redacre?
Wyatt probably has before.
Alright. Then Wyatt, what I want you to do is tell us the route Wyatt takes y'all to Redacre.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Alright, well, Wyatt has probably only been there with his older brother who can drive. So he would probably he would probably just go the only way he knows, which would be by the road. He wouldn't know like some sort of back way or anything. He would just go the only way that he knows, which was by car.
Okay.
No secret shortcuts. For shame.
It's probably for the better. Probably would have to go through the forest.
Fall into a giant pit.
Yeah, let's not. So I'm gonna assume you guys kind of go along like county roads. And like there's traffic, but not a lot. It's just like, okay, so and so's driving past their farm, or you see like a tractor in the distance going through doing what tractors do best. Do you guys talk about anything on your way there? Do you introduce each other? Like,
I wouldn't say Nick definitely is very forthcoming with a conversation.
mhm.
But as Wyatt took the lead and kind of like biking there, he at one point would just kind of speak up. Hey, you said your brother, one of those names was your brother's friend?
Yeah.
Does your brother like go to Redacre all the time?
Sometimes he does. We're not really supposed to, but he's got friends at Central High, and we go to watch their games sometimes.
Okay. And he wouldn't know anything about this, right?
I didn't really tell him. It's not something he needs to know. I didn't want to freak him out.
So he doesn't know about his missing friend?
He hasn't been up here in a while.
He's gonna find out.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Hopefully we can at least find out something to bring back to him.
Hopefully we can find anything.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the hard part. This place is kind of weird. I don't know. All the people I've talked to up here haven't been the most helpful.
What do you mean by that? I've only ever been here like once or twice and I don't pay attention.
Everybody just seems kind of... I don't really know how to describe it. Just off, I guess. Seems like nobody ever wants to tell anyone anything, especially not when they know you're not from here.
Treating us like kids. That doesn't seem too unusual.
What was that one more time?
Treating us like kids, it doesn't seem too unusual.
Yeah, I guess. You may see what I mean.
Seeing is believing. Suppose that's that, unless Maxi or Mercer wanted.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna proceed. You arrive in Redacre. At least at the little quaint sign that welcomes you to Redacre. It proclaims that it's one of the most friendly cities in the radio quiet zone. And as you bike down the road, you see a corner store, you see like random mom and pop shops. Just nothing really different than what you expect back home. In fact, if you look around a little bit, it almost feels like it could have been home at some point. But no, you live in Havenhill. And Havenhill is not Redacre.
The things like this is mid-afternoon, right?
Correct.
The things just like seem to be going about as if any normal small town stuff.
Yeah, like you see kids that have also just gotten out of school. You might even see like some Central High students wandering around, maybe getting a snack at the corner store before heading home. Just standard after school fare.
If we're just like pausing to look around, I'm gonna like nudge Wyatt. And I'm gonna say, I'm guessing you didn't bring a snack or anything.
Dude, we just got out of school. Of course I didn't bring it. Did you?
No, but I'm gonna buy us something and then we could talk to those kids there.
Yeah, sounds good. Might want to ask Maxi and Mercer.
Kind of slightly freeze at that notion.
he would pick up on this. And he'd probably, assuming he was in the front leading everybody, he'd probably slow down to get back towards Maxi and Mercer and just say, Nick wants to stop and talk to those people. Is that okay?
Maxi would look at the people and be like, sure, why not?
So lackadaisical.
I wonder if the food's as friendly as the neighborhood's supposed to be.
Well, only one way to find out.
You could taste the friendship.
Alright.
So we head into whatever corner store it is, and I kind of like say to the others, like, look, Mom's busy a lot, so sometimes I save up pizza money. Grab a bag of chips or a drink or whatever, I'll pay for it.
Wyatt probably wouldn't question that. He would just say, cool, free food, and just go grab something, probably just a soda or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's just as long as you're not like piling snacks on the counter. I'll just throw a few crumpled bills on the counter.
Mercer, Maxi, do you guys get snacks too?
No. Maxi would probably just walk around the store with them, just threateningly looming behind.
Wow.
Just standing there, menacingly.
I drifted again, I apologize.
Do you get snacks?
Nick has offered to pay for like a bag of chips or a drink if you want. Damn it, bot.
It's okay. It's just nervous. It's fine. It's just nervous. All right.
Oh, you get your off-brand cola.
Yes. All right. So while people are shopping around the corner store, you see, let's say 3 teenagers standing by, like, just on the edge of getting ready to leave, unwrapping.
A drink sounds nice.
There
There
it
it
is.
is.
You, like, unwrapping their packaged ice cream, talking about a pop quiz they had in history, complaining like pop quizzes are unfair.
How dare they.
Just yeah, just like that kind of sort of conversation of pop quizzes suck, parents gonna kill me when they find out I didn't do too well, I don't want to go back to tutoring, that was stupid, just really laying it on thick of like how much school sucked today.
We're like master eavesdroppers.
Yeah,
I know.
you're all quiet, that's what's best of like based on this group.
No, once Nick kind of drops off the money at the counter, not really caring for the pocket change too much,
Mm-hmm.
he would just kind of awkwardly meander up to them. Hey, hi. I'm not from around here. I'm from, Havenhill.
They like like one of the kids immediately grimaces and they're like, yeah, what do you want?
Look, I was trying to, I read in the paper that a few people have gone missing. Have you heard about that?
The kids kind of shoot each other some looks and it's like, yeah, just a couple kids from our school, I think an adult too, but I haven't heard anything.
Do you know anybody who might know something, or is this like a strictly a sheriff kind of situation?
Well, it's like a different kid speaks up and is like, well, it's hard because some of the kids who went missing, I'm like pretty sure they just ran away to get out of here. Like, how do I know that they just didn't escape Redacre, you know? Like,
That's what I'm here to like look into, you know?
mm-hmm. Would you do a...
About to bomb this.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here.
No points in empathize, no points in charm, no points in contact. Let's go.
I was literally debating between any of those.
It doesn't matter. It's all the same.
It's all the same? Okay, then make a roll.
Very convincing.
Just make a roll.
Why are we making the poor nerd handle the talking?
All right, let's go. Well, it will make I'm better at mind than heart, but I'm gonna go with the worst roll in this situation.
Okay, alright, let's go for the worst roll.
Because he's not good at this.
Okay.
Wyatt is definitely enjoying watching him suffer with this conversation.
Wow.
Failed. Let's go.
Alright. From being put on the spot like this, from trying to make this work, You're a bit too anxious. You're a bit nervous.
Clearly out of place.
Clearly out of place. I'm gonna say you're now upset.
That's absolutely fair.
So now any future let's see here, where's my official thing? I wish I had this one. If you're upset, no matter what, you automatically get a -1 to all of your rolls.
I need to roll 2 6s now.
No, you just, yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and keep that in mind. You are now broken. The 3 Central High students standing there with their ice cream just kind of look at you. And you definitely get the sensation that you are being judged.
Yeah, no, yeah, sorry, see ya. And then just kind of like blink back.
Okay.
Oh no.
I see Mercer is typing.
Look at this fucking no. Oh, sorry, language.
Oh, yep, you used our 1 F-bomb for the stream.
No,
You used our 1. No more F-bombs.
that's my fault. I'm sorry.
If Nick walked back towards the counter, Wyatt was probably listening to that conversation and just kind of gives him a sarcastic thumbs up and says nice job.
Okay.
He doesn't seem he doesn't seem boldened by this thumbs. Kind of like kind of rests his forehead on the edge of the counter at this point, just like yeah. Yeah.
You tried your best. An attempt was made.
An attempt was made, it's just nowhere near good enough.
Are you gonna give it a try, D? Or Mercer?
I didn't know if I needed to wait for
Oh, yeah, that's her. Let's wait for Mercer to finish typing.
Nah, you should probably go. I've been cycling through different things to save for several minutes and I'm probably not gonna go any faster.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to make sure before I...
Take it away, Wyatt.
Wyatt would probably, if he can, he would probably turn to whoever is working
Mm-hmm.
at the store and try and spark a conversation with them.
Alright.
Can I do that?
Of
Just wanna
course.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would probably try to very obviously, but also, casually, kind of like a act casual kind of deal. Just lean up against the counter and look at whoever's working and just kind of be like, "Hey, so we're visiting in town, and we heard about something in the paper about some kids going missing. You know anything about that?"
This little lady, this grandma, one might say, is there, and she like has an amused grin on her face, and it's
You're
just
watching me fail.
maybe, who knows. And it's just like, you hear some things, but nothing a kid should worry about.
I mean, as a kid myself, I feel like I should be, somewhat concerned. Don't you think?
Well, she like hems and haws and thinks about it for a moment. Well, I'm pretty sure a smart kid like you isn't going wandering around after dark and just, not turning on their phone and not answering their parents' calls, right?
No, definitely not thinking about going around at night. But if I did, what would I have to worry about? And he just leans forward on the counter, not even being subtle about it anymore, just full on going interrogation mode. This poor old lady behind the counter.
I know, right? I want you to do a check.
Oh God.
Alright. I'm letting you pick between two. You can either do Charm and Heart or Investigate Mind.
Don't be like me.
I'm
Pick the
gonna
better
do-
one.
I'm gonna do Charm and Heart.
Okay.
Okay, wait, so it's a 5, 6. Okay, so I get 7?
Yes.
Damn, bro, if I fail. Alright. Yes!
Oh!
Yeah!
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
gosh. Okay. Not only have you charmed this little lady, like, she thinks you're absolutely adorable. She is just, she kind of like leans forward and like pats your cheek like, oh, you're such a sweet thing. Like, there's tales of like coyotes, there's possibly just somebody, like, there's a rumor that there's somebody in the woods like taking kids, but haven't heard anything of that. But like the coyotes, there's constantly animal control vans around and they just block the roads and it's utterly miserable. Like, how are my grandkids supposed to come visit me if the animal control van has blocked the road? Like, I haven't even seen a single coyote, but they swear on the news all the time that there are coyotes out there.
Wyatt just kind of hears that, and he's definitely never heard anything about coyotes back where he lives, but he just kind of goes along with it to kind of see if she'll keep talking about it. Just like, oh yeah, I know, right? We get trouble with that all the time. Said not too many problems with the control vans though. They're a little bit more subtle about it there.
Oh, well, lucky you then. Lucky you. There's there's just like, I don't know, just what are my tax dollars going to, you know? There's so many like potholes, and like they don't fix the streetlights sometimes, and just I don't know, but yeah, they keep mentioning coyotes on the news. A stranger in the woods. Supposedly, she like gestures grandly. Supposedly, like this elementary school student saw some creepy man in the woods, but nobody found anybody there. But my question is, what is like a 6-year-old doing in the woods by herself? That's like, what kind of parent? And she just keeps going. She just keeps on going, like nonstop.
Wyatt just he does his best to just kind of keep agreeing, just like, I know, right?
Smile and wave. Smile.
Yeah. Just yep. Uh-huh.
Alright, so while Wyatt
You really struck gold there.
So while Wyatt is chatting up the grandma, are you up to anything, Maxi? Are you doing anything, Mercer?
Maxie would probably just be like standing behind Wyatt, like a little bit farther away, but just standing there looking.
You're like a
Intimidating.
statue.
Yeah.
Like a total statue.
I'm here to be ominous.
Is that what rockers do now? Be ominous?
Absolutely.
5'7" Wyatt needs some intimidation help from the 5'2" rocker.
Mercer is taking a sip and watching this unfold.
Alright. Well, as she continues to rant and ramble, and kind of go off on tangents. Next, like, Wyatt, you're now learning about her grandchildren and like how they've won some awards.
Oh
and,
God.
Like, you get the impression that not many people talk to this old lady unless they absolutely have to.
Oh no, you gave her the time of day.
Too much charm.
But she's utterly like so touched that you like asked and that you talked to her and everything.
Oh, you're one of her grandchildren.
Yeah, you know, like she starts trying to like get your name, and it's just like, you know, you look like you could eat more. Like you look like a beanpole. You do your parents feed you? Like, what about all you? Do your parents feed you? And like kind of like steps out from behind the counter to go and like start pulling like
Oh no.
like some of the hot dogs off the like the little roller things to like get you guys hot dogs, and just like, no, on the house, take them. Like, no, you guys need to eat. Like, what are they feeding you? What are they doing here?
Free hot dogs. It's some consolation for the very sad Nick right now.
Yeah, Wyatt would just kind of just be like, oh, you don't have to, like, and just like thanking her, and he would try to decide if he would actually he would give her his name. He would give her his first name. He would just say, yeah, my name's Wyatt, and he wouldn't offer up anybody else's names. He would just say, like, these are some friends from town over. What's your name?
I'm now on the spot.
Paris.
It's your turn to be on the spot.
Her name's Suzanne.
Yeah.
Suzanne. And she's like, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you, Wyatt. You're such a sweet boy. Like, you need to come over. Like, you should come visit more. Like, if you're just the town over, you're not too far. You should, we'll make something happen. We'll make it work. You want dinner? I can cook you dinner." Like, just,
Yo.
and goes on to say that, sadly, the shop is still open for a couple more hours, so she wouldn't be able to cook you dinner tonight, but maybe on Sunday. You free Sunday? We can do Sunday. Like,
So much free food.
I know. He would just kind of say, he'd be like, "Oh, that's so nice." He's like, my friends and I are actually gonna look around for somebody, but I'll see what I can do. Okay.
okay, well, you know where to find me, honey. Don't be a stranger now. You guys leave the corner store?
Yeah. I'm not really leading the charge anymore. Nick is Nick's just kind of like pulled his headphones up and it's just kind of there physically.
And Nick is existing.
Wyatt knows how to speak with the locals.
He speaks Redacre language.
Apparently. Anything from you, Maxi?
No.
We're
think
going coyote hunting.
Are you going coyote hunting?
I mean, I don't think actually, no.
Okay. Just because I am keeping an eye on the time, would somebody ever so kindly roll a d10 for me?
While someone else does that, can I?
Oh,
While I was doing that, could I, ask, like, while I was there, I was still, like, hearing what was going on. Would it be
Mhm.
possible for me to make, like a comprehend check or something, just to, like, make sure she wasn't, like, intentionally pulling the wool over our eyes?
yeah, totally. You want to?
Yeah.
Yep, comprehend mind.
Yeah, but I have to get 2 6s.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Wyatt just blindly trusting this random old woman.
So that is 7 dice for me.
Thank you, Ryan.
I have no clue.
You have no clue. For all you know, she's like any other grandma.
Yeah, no, I'm just like solemnly eating a hot dog, I guess.
Yeah. You're trying to feed your sadness.
Fill the void, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
Mercer's probably so unused to nice adults that he didn't even bother to be suspicious after the first few words.
Fair. For the heck of it, would you like to try Maxi? With a comprehend check?
hell yeah.
Oh no.
Nope.
Also, he has a terrible mind stat, so I'm not even going to try.
Fair. Alright, so all of you totally taking Grandma at her word. Grandma Suzanne at her word. And as you leave the corner store, she reminds you, well, don't be strangers. And you see the looming weather clouds overhead. It's windy, it's gusty, and that smell of is that going to be a rainstorm? You think that's going to be a rainstorm? Are you going to stick around Redacre?
Yeah, I was about to say, does it look like we'd be able to like make it back before it starts pouring?
If you possibly rush home, you can get home before the storm hits.
Yeah, having quickly been shot down and not wanting to be in either a spooky and or coyote-filled town.
Okay.
Nick would kind of just be like, I think I'm gonna head back.
Oh. Can I look very smugly at those kids by the door as I walk by with all the food that the grandma gave?
You are totally allowed to look smugly at the kids, and they just kind of like stare at you, and you probably stare back. It's that Weird Al song. He looks at me and I look at him, like that whole thing of like
You like glance at the hot dogs and then glance at them like, oh.
we'll see here. Like
Mercer looks up at the clouds and mutters in a deadpan tone of voice, friendliest weather in Virginia.
Friendliest clouds you'll ever meet.
all right. So unless Maxi says otherwise, I'm assuming you're all gonna head back home.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, we're gonna end tonight's session. So give me 1 second.
We people.
I'm sorry, what?
We achieved something.
You have achieved something.
We got hot
have
dogs
a lead.
and Wyatt gave away their information.
Yep.
Listen, okay. Are you surprised by that?
I never said I was surprised. I just have the strangest feeling that's gonna come bite us in the butt.
All
I've
right.
gotten like 3 messages already about blindly following another grandmother.
Okay. I will be back to you players in just a sec.
Okay.
Alrighty. We will be... Well, first off, I want to thank you all so much for watching part 1 of Side A of Better Than Paradise. A Tales from the Loop Blackout Club inspired ttrpg campaign. Please join us on Sunday for part 1 of Side B, or part 2 of Side A, same time, same place next week. Thank you again so very much for being here. If you have any comments, concerns, or things you liked, things you didn't like, things you want to see more of, I have posted a link to a Google form in chat. Please feel free to fill that out. If you want to join the Discord to share like any theories or speculations, feel free to click that link as well. And we will see you all next time. Good night.